Hey, what's up everybody? So, I have decided to do my CCIE. So I am back on my studying track, and it's been actually quite easy getting back into the groove of studying and all that. Right now, I am preparing my lab, trying to get all of this stuff purchased. Well, it's already purchased. I'm just waiting for some of it to arrive. I'll show you guys what I have going on right now. But anyways, I have my CCIE version 5. I have that planned, the written exam, for 6 months from now. So if I can get that done before the year's over, that would be awesome. And then after that, I want to schedule about a year or so in order to do the lab exam. So I know a lot of the questions that I'm going to get is, what training did I decide to purchase? And let me go ahead and go into INE. I went ahead and purchased INE's what's it called? ATC bundle, I believe it's called. Or if you go to INE's website, INE.com, and you go to the tab that says CCIE Success, I went ahead and purchased the first ATC and workbook bundle. Right here it has a listed price of $800, but when I purchased it, it was this past weekend, or this last weekend, and it was on sale for $600. So I got $200 off just right there, and that comes with the version 5 advanced technology video course. It also comes with the version 5 workbook. That includes the version 4 workbooks as well, version 4 workbook volume 1 through 4, and the 300 tokens of rack rentals. Now it also comes with the version 4 advanced technology video courses. So I got that, and that's really all I think I'm gonna need for my CCIE written exam, at least for now. So if you want to find the topology for the new version 5 topology, let me see if I can find it here. So here you go. If you go ahead and Google INE version 5 topology, the second link there is for blog.ine.com, and Brian McGann posts this on May 13th. There's one there, there's a link that says INE CCIE's RNS version 5 hardware topology. So there, if you click on that link, you'll have your topology laid out. And it's quite an interesting approach that they decided to go with as far as this topology. I'll go ahead and post that link in the description, but essentially, of course, it's going with the 4 switches, with the box and cross, I guess, setup, where essentially you have 2 links going to each router. So you have that, and then the interesting part here is that they have, well, for one, they have both a virtual routers and physical switches topology, and they have a physical router and physical switches topology. And from switch 1, you have one trunk link trunking over to a hypervisor, and in that hypervisor you have all of the routers there. So now this article, or I'm sorry, this workbook page sort of goes into the different platforms that you can use. If you're going to go physical routers, which would be insanely expensive, or go virtual routers, you can use either the CSR 1000Vs, or you can use a GNS3 with 7200 series routers. I went ahead and went with GNS3 with the 7200 and put in the 15.2S with advanced enterprise services. I went with that because, well, I just heard there was a lot of requirements with areas for running those CSR 1000Vs, and I would have had to purchase another. I would have had to purchase a Hyper-V or hypervisor server, and that's not that it's not in my budget. I could have totally budgeted for that, but it just seemed like it was too much of a headache. A lot of people were having issues with it, or getting it set up, or not being able to have enough. So I was easily able to set up GNS3 on my computer here. So I'm actually just using it here on my Windows computer, and it's running it just fine. Let me go ahead and open up that topology. The way I have it set up is pretty interesting here, but it works. Let's see, GNS3 projects, right there. Alright, so this is the way I have the topology set up. Pretty much, you might be wondering, what are these clouds? Each of these clouds are configured exactly the same. I have I go here to network input output, and this I have a secondary NIC on this machine, and I just click add, and that adds that to that cloud. So essentially this is connecting me to switch 1. So each of these routers have a trunk link going over to switch 1. So that kind of oh, and I actually just realized that you can't see my GNS3 because you can't see what I'm doing. But essentially what I have is the 10 routers on the topology going to an individual cloud that is really, they're all going out of my secondary Ethernet card, and all of that is just going to a trunk link right here into switch 1, which is the only switch that I have purchased at this point. So pretty interesting way of doing that. So what they have set up here on the for the routers is pretty cool. I like that they're encouraging this whole virtual software, but I guess it was kind of a inevitability, because I mean, it's just so expensive to buy the physical equipment itself. So now, as far as the physical switches, you can't go with virtual switches. However, the page here doesn't really give you too much on GNS3 with layer 2 IOU. Plus, INE actually, their initial configs are based around 3550, 3560, 3750 switches. So I went ahead to save me some headache. Go ahead and just purchase those switches and have them here. So it gives you an ideal platform, which are the more expensive level 3560s and 3750s, and they have the alternate platform with 32 megabytes of flash. I went ahead and went with the 3560 with 32 megabytes of flash. It is not power over Ethernet. It is just a 24 port TS. So this thing here has an iOS image of 15.0 SE or 15.0 SE, and that's really all that was needed. So I went ahead and did it that way. So there were some reasons why I didn't go with the whole L2 IOU, and I think it was more because of the trunking between it. And let's see, why is it that I didn't do it? Oh, right, because the currently GNS3, for some reason the Ethernet switch doesn't work well, and the IOU has a limited number of ports on it, and also because the IOU has Ethernet ports rather than fast Ethernet ports. and that's what INE has on their initial configs, which could easily be changed, but that's pretty much where I'm at this point as far as my CCIE studies. I've been going through a lot of the layer 2 technologies with INE's stuff, INE's advanced technology course. Of course, right now, as some of you may know, INE is currently doing their version 5 course, which they should start to post little by little, I believe in a week or two from now. So once that happens, I'm going to start watching those videos. I imagine there's not going to be too much of a difference in the layer 2 between version 1 and version 2, but I'll kind of I might just watch them both and see where that goes. So this is what I'm going to be using in order for me to study for the written exam. And let me finish by saying that also just realize that I'm not even recording in a good setting here, but oh well. The routers here are actually all using sub-interfaces, which are .1Q tunneling over to the switch, which is why they're all being trunked over that one link. So you're not going to have a whole bunch of routers connecting to all 4 switches. You're just going to have all the routers connected to one switch. And that's because INE decided to go with the approach of segmentation. So for the ATC, or the Advanced Technology course, they're going to take the switch section, and they're only going to use switches, and they're going to do the routing section, and they're only going to use routers. So that's essentially the logic behind that, and I like that. In the other sections here that they're continuing on, they are using both the routers and switches together. So, but that's once I start going into the lab studies. So, and again, that stuff is still pending. Again, workbook 5 is still a work in progress, but it's getting there, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So once I pass my CCIE written exam, I plan to take the CCIE lab exam maybe about I want to say 9 months, but latest a year after my written exam. Optimistically, I should be taking it maybe 3 to 6 months after. It just depends how I feel. I guess you can't rush those kind of things, especially when you have to drop so much money on the exams. But and not to mention the travel. But what I'm going to do for my actual CCIE lab, I'm actually going to study using Cisco 360 out of the Net Masterclass website. And that's because I had a friend of mine, Kyle, another YouTuber, sort of showed me how that stuff worked, explained it to me, and I really feel that that's going to be the way to go, especially with this new format that Cisco is taking, using this whole virtual environment. In order for you to get, in order for me to get used to the environment, I want to take a course which provides me with something that's going to be very, very similar to the way Cisco is going to word the exams and how the actual software is going to run. And with Cisco 360, you get that package for about $800 plus like 200 hours of rack time, which is a lot. And I'm probably going to have to buy more than 200 hours of rack time, since every time you do a lab, it comes with 8 hours of time, or 6 hours for configuration, 2 hours for troubleshooting, and as of right now, I don't believe they have a section for diagnostics. So I don't know if they're going to add that or not. So, but I'll go more into detail about that later. But for now, that's where I'm at as far as my my CCIE goes. I'm going to take the version 5 written and the version 5 lab. So things are going to get really busy around here, and I'm hoping to share my experiences with you. That's all I have to say for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you all are having a great day, and I'll see you all next time.